Hello, everybody. Folks, it's time. It's time for the mock draft 2026. I'm going to tell you guys right now, this is the most unpredictable one I've ever seen as I'm trying to get situated. I'm charging the laptop. Okay, I could have just easily done that. I was trying to bounce it on my fucking knees. Yeah, the most wacky and unpredictable draft that I can remember. I don't think I'll be able to get rid of this shit, so don't mind that. But yeah, I'm gonna try to do trades. I'm gonna try to talk it out with you guys. I got the R Lads depth charts of teams, so we can really get into this shindig. Sit back, enjoy yourselves, guys. I think it's gonna be a fun one. It's gonna be a wacky one, but you guys know I do this off the top of the head. I improv it. Like, I have some picks in mind, but I really talk it out with you guys and just see how I'm feeling in the moment. That's how I like to do them. Just one mock draft. If I get more popular, which will never happen, I might do 28 mock drafts like everyone else does. But as much as I like watching them, I like to just do one concise one and get about 6 right, and that's one more than my group chat. So I think I know better. So shouts out to them. Shouts out to all you idiots watching, the 1.5 others that watch this shit, and let's just get into it. What the fuck am I talking about? Number one, Fernando. We've known this for months. No one's really broke it down. People have gotten bored with it. I think it's going to be interesting to see how Clint Kubiak uses him and how early he gets in, because they did get Kirk Cousins as the mentor role, and I guess if he's not ready week 1, let Kirk start for the first couple of weeks. I want to see how fast he can get the playbook. I wonder if it's like when the Patriots drafted Mac Jones and they still had Cam Newton, and they thought that Cam still might start for the first couple of weeks, but then Mac they just thought he was ready enough, and he had a fairly good rookie year. It kind of feels like that to me, but if not similar play styles. So, Davis and Brady, they've already met with him now, and they've had a plan for him all along. So, that's that. It'll be, like I said, I respect Clint's play calling. We don't know how good of a coach he is, so I don't see a scenario where Fernando's terrible. Just how high is the ceiling? That's my only concern, but it's just the type of quarterbacks I usually go for. Have a little more talent, but if there's a sure thing for you, don't, just pick them right there. So, obviously for me, not the number one guy, number one prospect, but quarterback of need, you're going to pick him one. So, number 2, Jets, interesting. You guys have been hearing the rumblings, I'm sure. It's either Arvell or Bailey. Past week, the odds have been turning it into David Bailey's size of a thing. Little murmurs of Carnell Tate, I've heard. I'm just telling you guys what I've heard. I don't think it'll happen, but don't be surprised with anything that happens in this draft. So, yeah, I'm still going to give him Reese. I just think he has the better upside. I do like David Bailey a lot, though. There's a lot of retractors to him, but I like him, and I just think Arvell can do a little bit more for you. And with Aaron Glenn, they win now. I see why you'd think Bailey, but I don't know. I don't think Reese is just this project guy. You just put him out on the field and let him roam, play sideline to sideline, and then blitz him at linebacker. If he's still not ready to play edge. So, yeah, the draft really starts at 2, and then 3 definitely. There's talks about maybe the Cowboys trading up for Bailey, the Chiefs trading up for Bailey, and the Cardinals are for sure open to the idea of trading back. But if they stayed here, they could potentially pick Bailey or Francis Mwangai, Mauioa. I got it. Mauinoa, dear God, Francis Mauinoa. I'm thinking of like Kyle Manungai. Like he's not even Samoan, but yeah, a lot of stuff could happen here. This is where we get wacky. I don't foresee this team ever drafting 9th, let alone this high. So we will trade this pick to the Chiefs. For both of their first-round picks this year. What else? 34-65. Well, let's just do this just to make the trade go through, So now we got the Chiefs here. And I think they would go with David Bailey here. Maybe Ruben Bain. And they could just stay at 9 and, Bain could potentially fall there. But there was that, car accident where he accidentally killed someone a couple of years ago. From what I remember hearing, this is Ruben Bain I'm talking about, the family didn't press charges or nothing. And recently they've, saying, we've grieved already, we don't want this to, affect him. They publicly stated this from what I heard from a podcast a couple hours ago at work. I have so much information, information overload, so, I'm forgetting half the shit, or I'm mixing up half the shit, but that's what I've heard. Bailey would help them a lot in the edge rush department. And, as much as they could probably get a corner late first round, I don't think they necessarily need another first-round pick. You've also heard rumblings now today. McShay's talking about they want line, so maybe they could stay and pick linemen at 9, but this is what I have doing, okay? I have them doing right now. I have some stuff. I have some ideas, I guess, but I'm also freestyling off the cuff with some of these. Number 4, the Titans. I mean, we've been hearing it a lot. They have Tony Pollard. They have Tajay Spears. And the line isn't as well developed as you want. So maybe, potentially if Reese or Bailey fell, hell, they could even really get Ruben Bain here too, Robert Saleh. I don't know if he's the type of edge he usually goes for, though. So we're going to go in Jeremiah Love, which I'm sure you guys have been hearing. Yeah, just another weapon for Kaleb Ward to develop with. Potentially receiver here with Tate or Tyson, maybe. I think teams are confident in him now, drafting him. So we got him there. 5, the Giants. Again, many different reports. You hear Harbaugh talking about, wanting to shore up the line, and they are also interested in Jeremiah Love if he falls here. A couple of my Buckeyes. We're going to give him one of them, and that's my boy Sonny Styles. Just great, athletic, rangy linebacker. I think it's something that they need just to shore it up and get, depth in a, future solid starter for years to come. 6, the Browns. Another trade spot. You'd think about Dallas could move up again to 3 or 6, but with Styles, Bailey, and Reese gone, I don't think at this point they do. And then I'm hearing things that they might trade back as well. But they for sure, well, not for sure, but they want to have 2 picks in the first round. But they also don't have a lot of later round picks, so we don't know here. Could be a Tyson or Tate. If I was the Browns, I would pick Carnell Tate, but you've also been hearing rumblings of tackle. Francis would be a great fit for them, I think, but A couple months ago you were hearing about Monroe Freeling. Now recently you've been hearing them talk about Caden Proctor. And it's a bit of a reach for me and for a lot of people, but there is a little fandom that thinks very highly of him. And, for better or for worse, I do think this is a very Browns pick. So I'm gonna make them pick Caden Proctor at 6. This isn't me trolling, this is what I've heard. They're really high on him. And I like him. I think he can be a good tackle and or a guard. So trust me, this is not a troll pick. This is what I think. They have another pick in the later rounds. We will address receiver from there. It's not like I'm just gatekeeping Cornell from him. I gave him Travis Hunter last year, and they traded that for Graham. So I really think burying them, prioritize interior. But again, don't be surprised if they just draft a receiver there and a tackle like Kaleb Lomu or whoever is left there at 24. I mean, Caden could slip there, but I promise you guys, this is it just feels like a Browns move to me. Okay. And then with Washington at 7, you could get Downs, Bain, sure up the line, but after my boy McLaurin, the core isn't as deep as you'd want it. So if the board fell like this, I think they would definitely pick Carnell Tate here at 7. Athletic, rangy receiver, smooth route runner, and would get developed by a brethren in Scary Terry. So I like that a lot. Number 8. As I highlight everything, where's the fucking needs? Okay, here we go. Receiver, running back, guard, D-line. I mean, they just got Travis A-Chain now. Guard. Well, no. I mean, Awane, it's a little too high for him. Fano, if you want to switch him over. I got Ruben Bain. They need edge. I don't think he falls out of the top 10. I think he's that good. The Cardinals now, who have the 29th pick now and this pick, I think they, love how it fell. And they would pick Francis Maui-Noah, who they could potentially just pick at 3 anyway. Shore up that line for whoever will be their quarterback. They got Jacoby Brissett and Gardner Minshew. Let's just say we might talk about that later. Number 10 now. We got Sonny here. It's really, to me, it's either Kaleb or... Where the fuck is he? Jordan Tyson. I've heard from some reports that they like Tyson a lot. But Kaleb is just too good to pass up. He really is. He could be at 7. Hell, even 8. So I think we're going to double down on the Ohio State defense for him. Yeah. Okay, 11. Again, this could go a lot of ways for me. As you see, I'm already pausing. I'm forgetting, Tyson, Kaleb. It's hard to not have not have both in the top 10, but this is just how the board's falling right now. So 11 now. I don't know if they've visited with Tyson, but Delane's there. I mean, is it too early for guard or, Fanu, Wane? That's who, we're seeing. The corner position's just so terrible, man. It really is. It's really dog shit. Tyson's just so much of a beast, though, man. We're gonna give him Delane. He tested out great. I think it's a little more scarce. Let's see this atrocity that is the fucking Dolphins. I mean, you got Tutu Atwell, Jalen Tolbert. They're fine. They're both like wide receiver threes. So is Malik at their best. So you got 3 wide receiver threes. You know, Theo Weiss. I love Terrace Marshall at LSU, but we see the pecking order. My boy Taj Washington at USC. AJ Henning out of Northwestern. Okay, I might have to redo this. I might have to redo it. But look at the corner, guys. Look at the corners. Darrell Baker Jr. What? You know, Georgia Southern. God bless them. Then you got Storm Duck. We love Storm Duck. We all love Storm Duck, but it's Storm Duck. And then Jason Marshall Jr. at the nickel. And then you got people like Marco Wilson, Juju Brents. You know, like developmental guys who haven't developed yet. That's why they're on different teams now. You know, I'm fine with it. I'm not as upset as I once was. Number 12. Number 12, we got the Cowboys. There's a couple of ways I want to go with this. Me personally, Thieneman might be the best player-ish of need, you know. They could go McCoy here, too. Jamal McCoy. Look at these fucking ads, y'all. Shout out to Mock Draft Central. You know, we were anti-PFF before it was cool. You know, now that they laid off a bunch of people, I've been seeing fellow dorks of mine rebelling against them and not using them and using Pro Football Network. Their layout's a little clunky to me, not as clean, crisp, smooth looking. So safeties, Jalen Thompson, he's fine. I love my boy Malik Hooker, but he's, you know, inconsistent. You know, he's a fine, good starter. He's getting up there. He's 30. So it's Thieneman, it's someone like Keldrick Falk, or it's McCoy for me. And then you see the board, how it would fall. And people hate Falk, but I mean, I just wouldn't be shocked if he got drafted that high. They have McNeil Warren this high. I'm going to give him Thieneman. I just think he'd be a great free safety, potentially put him at slot. I got him doing that. Just because. So 13 now. Can go a bevy of ways. I think Awane, I think Lemon, Sadiq. But since Jordan Tyson is still here, you've seen people take Lemon a lot. But if Tyson's still here, I mean, what are we doing? I think he's that good. He should be a top 10 player. It's just, you know, say if the Browns take Tate, Commanders could, Giants could. If the Commanders took down, you know, there's so many. I guess I should make multiple fucking mock drafts because of the scenarios here. But yeah, I just think he fits them well. Replace Devontae after this year, or if Puka still keeps getting in weird, dumb trouble, weird shit, you got to pay one of them. If, you know, big money, I don't think they want to pay them both, so I got them picking Jordan Tyson at 13. Don't be surprised, Fano, Awane, Sadiq, or trade back. They could trade back. 14, the Ravens. You're hearing a lot of Sadiq buzz. And, I think he'd fit the offense well. And, edge is a underrated thing that they could keep improving. But they're a great drafting team. You got to give them respect, and they get just great talent that just slips. And Awane might be a top 10 player for me and a lot of people. So I don't see him passing them up. I was an idiot and made them pass up on Malachi Starks last year. Didn't really make sense at all. I got Awane going to the Ratbirds. Would just automatically, fill a void that they need. Let's go to their team. Because Falale left, but everyone hated him anyway. Voorhees, he was injured coming into his rookie year. I don't think he's played that much. Emory Jones, I was high on, but, And then John Simpson, historically a fine enough player, but he's old. 28, actually, not really. So, yeah, get someone at left. He would just pull again. Maybe they're not high in Voorhees. Yeah, I think it makes sense. Buccaneers, edge, corner, they could stick and pick McCoy. They could stick and get... Falk doesn't really fit what they need. They really need like a pass rusher, as much as I like Falk. Mesidor, but I actually got them trading back. I think it's something they could do. 2, none other than my boys. Because, guys, I don't think anyone realizes this or cares because, we're the Steelers and they hate us. But we'll give them, our pick and then a second, sure. And, some of these 7th round picks, we don't need 15 7th round picks. We have 12 picks in Pittsburgh. I haven't seen one mock draft that has us trading up. We might trade up in the later rounds, sure. But guys, let's just go for it. Let's just do this right now. Mekhi Lemon is slipping. We need a slot guy. We got a big Michael Pittman Jr. traded for him. DK. I think big McCarthy wants us to pass. He wants some diversity. We could stay there and Cooper Falls or Concepcion maybe. It's just a little too high for me for him. I think I'll have him here in the later rounds, but I just think Lemon with Awane off the board. We could still trade up for Fano. I wouldn't mind that one bit, especially with Broderick Jones. We don't know if he'll be ready for next year. I think we're I have pants on, folks. Don't worry. I have shorts. If you just saw knee out of nowhere, we don't know if he'll be back and ready to play this year. And we like Dylan Cook. He surprised the fuck out of me last year, but is he really a guy you want to be starting all year? So, but with our 2nd round pick, I think we'll either pick tackle guard like a Blake Miller or a Wane Fanu. 1st round. If not, we'll pick Cooper, Lemon, maybe Tyson, maybe Concepcion. But I have us trading up for Lemon. Let's just do it because we don't need 12 picks, folks. I don't foresee it. And we went to jump over the Jets so they wouldn't pick him, but I still think that they are fairly high on Cooper, and he would fit the same thing and maybe even be more diverse in that realm. So, got them picking that. 17, again, edge, maybe, but I'm leaning towards O-lineman, so it's between Fano and Freeling. Who fits them more? Who's more of a ankle biter, if you will? I have Fano higher, so I'm going to make them draft him, but Freeling fits him a lot. Max Ionichor, I think he's gonna be a first-round pick for sure at this point, but I could see Freeling. I'm gonna give him Fano though. Minnesota Vikings. They need secondary guy, so I don't think he's gonna slip too far. Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, I can see it, but if McCoy is still there, I think he would fit them well with my boy Flores. Let's see their... We should probably look at these depth charts before I pick them, but let's just go with it. Or if one of the receivers drop, because Addison keeps getting in trouble. So that's another thing to look forward to. They got my boy Pierre in the slot. Well, left. And then Isaiah Rodgers and Byron Murphy. Yeah, I think he would start over Pierre. I like Pierre better in the slot anyway. And then Isaiah Rodgers, good corner, but hell, I think I like him in the slot better too, actually. But he has some like playmaking, pick six ability. But I think McCoy is a bigger, talented guy than pretty much everyone automatically, except for Murphy, who I've always been high on. But I think he even has a better upside than him. As 19, if Sadiq is still here, I think sure. If not, Freeling or... I mean, really, that's it. I got to pick Sadiq. D-line, Kendrick Falk, maybe, someone to stop the run, but, everyone hates Falk, and Sadiq is still here, so why the hell not? I do, though. It's, at this point, Kendrick is a nice big body for him. I think he could develop into a guy with a rusher plan. C.J. Allen could be a splash guy, fill up the linebacker role. There's potential. They might trade for my boy Patrick Queen. That might still be on the table. We'll give him Kendrick Falk right now. Corner. Let's go back to them. Were we ever on them? Did we ever actually look at their team? Yeah, because the secondary thing we gave them. Thieneman. Their corner situation, Savone Revel, last year injured, Let's see if he can develop into anything. Dron Bland, can we have a bounce back year? Kobe Durant, good enough corner. So, it's not too big of a need. Terrell, I could see him picking him, but if not, fuck it. Okay. So, the Bucks traded down a little bit, and I'm going to give him the guy who they might have drafted anyway, Hakeem Mesidor. Nice edge player, try to save Todd Bowles' job. Chargers now, O-line, D-line. I think the O-line was just so terrible. You need depth pieces. I think a sneaky guy no one's really talking about is Emmanuel Pregnon. I think he's the second best guard. I think he fits their scheme a lot. Run heavy, play action. Let Herbert get some time, really to cook. Because there's people who are doubting Herbert, and I know he hasn't won a playoff game now, but the talent, I can't get jiggy with some of you people. I can't. I don't want to. That's just how I feel. Eagles are on the clock. I guess it's the worst kept secret. Made Vrabel's and Diana's fucking situationship come out and shit. So they'll probably get A.J. Brown in June. I don't think wide receiver is the biggest need. Lane Johnson isn't going to be there forever. Just draft a Georgia guy, as they always do, Monroe Freeling. If he's not there, I can see Max Einacher. So there you go. Browns fans, we're back. We gave you guys the best player in the draft, Caden Proctor. Let's, we're going to give you a receiver. Don't worry. Denzel Boston's a big-bodied guy that they don't have there. I mean, Cedric Tillman, I was never high on him. I know people, there's still some believers out there. Isaiah Bond, talented, but, inconsistent last year. Jerry Jeudy's your slot guy who, if he had hands, would be, a really good receiver. Had a Pro Bowl year 2 years ago. So you got to give my boy Shador some hope. To be honest with you guys, I think Deshaun will come back and be healthy and start for them week 1. And I do. There's still like a 2% chance that Deshaun can be a good quarterback. But if not, you roll with Shador for a year, see what the fuck you got out of him. Denzel Boston's the pick for you guys. You're going to love it. Number 25, the Chicago Bears. I'm thinking D-line, obviously. Edge is a possibility. I'm thinking more tackle, but let's just do the thing, guys. This is fun. We're just chilling here in my Oklahoma garage bedroom. And, I mean, they got Sweats, Deo, Adangbo, Adiangbo. I feel like I knew how to pronounce it before, because he was in a draft class recently, 2021, 2022 class, I think. Yeah, I don't know, but, and I haven't really gotten any, like, specific people, like, the 30 visits, top 30 visits, that the teams do. Grady Jarrett, was somewhat good. Dexter Senior's, people hate Gallimore. Some people think he's, shouldn't even be in the league. So we're gonna do tackle. I don't have a opinion on him either way, but okay. So Peter Woods is my D lineman 1, but Christian Miller has a lot of hype. So to me it's between those two. It really is. Who do I think they would want and pick? Caden's my boy too, but I don't know if they've brought him in. We're gonna give them Christian Miller. I just think he has more buzz right now. The Bills, wide receiver, edge, safety, I think they could be D-line too at this point. TJ Parker maybe. They got TJ Sanders, Deion Walker, Ed Oliver, Gregory Rousseau. So they're not the highest on TJ. But Walker, you could get better. At this point, it's like I'm trying to do the thing that everyone else does and just try to get the guys who I think is going to be in the first round in there. Because I think we're going line here. Yeah, we'll give them... where the fuck is he? Peter Woods, dear God. I think he'd fit that scheme. A big front four with Oliver and Russo. And I like Sanders a little bit, so maybe that's why I'm not going edge. So I'd go Parker or Woods, and I think Woods is the slightly more talented guy right now, and maybe the better guy right now as well. Niners, they could go edge. Cassius Howe, I think, would fit them a lot. Safety, guard, But you hear a lot of hoopla about tackle. So, it's out of these three guys. Let's give him Caleb Lomo. I like him out of those. He's my tackle 3. So, I guess this is a little combination of like everything. What I do, what I think they're gonna do, what have you. Same thing with Texans. They need. I don't know why they got David Montgomery. They traded for him. I'm gonna give him Blake Miller. I've seen some rumblings about him, so sure up that line. CJ's not. I promise you guys, he's not as bad as y'all think he is. Watching him the past couple of years, it's just the line just doesn't hold up. 29. Here we go. Here's mainly why I did this. We've been hearing recently that out of all the teams that would be interested in Ty Simpson, the Cardinals are the most interested in him. And it's kind of like with the Texans a couple years back when they just had Davis Mills. Like, if your quarterback room is Jacoby Brissett and Gardner Minshew, as a fan, you're telling me we're not serious about winning or trying to compete. And maybe it's the Cardinals' best interest not to, and tank for one of the potential talented quarterbacks next year. But I don't know if they like Ty Simpson and I like McFleur, the younger brother, Mike coming in. I think Tyson's a good talent who, in the right system, can be a good starter for you. So I'm gonna give him Ty Simpson. 30. Let's give these idiots a receiver. Casey Concepcion can do a little bit of what Jalen Waddle did for them. 31 now. Patriots, again, could go tackle. I'm thinking either Max or Caden McDonald, because that's really like Vrabel was like doing drills with Ian Archer, but they've also had visits with McDonald, so. Some of these people who I'm really high on are, just have to fall out of the first round. I've noticed Terrell, TJ Parker. Like, if the Chiefs were still here, they could get one of these corners. I'm going with I think I'm going McDonald, which might be dumb, but I don't know, it's just what I'm feeling in this moment, and I'm higher on him than Max anyway. Max, he was like my 8th tackle. Caden's my 2nd D-line, so just sure up that even more. And you can just get a guy in the 2nd round. I think these tackles, it's a fairly deep-ish class, so. In 32, the Seahawks could definitely trade out of this pick. They need interior, but they lost Quinion, or not Quinion. Poor man's Quinion, Tariq Woolen, who is also in the Eagles, and Kobe Bryant. So I think I'm going to give them Avion Terrell if they stayed here. They could definitely just trade out this pick. Maybe if the Cardinals-Chiefs thing doesn't happen, they could come back at 32. We've seen division rivals trade within this draft. So Avion Terrell, I think he can play inside, can play outside. That's how we're doing this thing. And you guys see it here first. This is the King Kaleb mock draft. We got Fernando Mendoza to the Raiders, Arvo Reese to the Jets, David Bailey trading up with the Chiefs trading up to get him. I think they could just get him at 9 too if they, if all things happen. 4, I got the Titans with Jeremiah Love. 5, Sonny Styles going to the Giants. 6, I promise it's not a troll, Caden Proctor to those Brownies. Commanders get Cornell Tate. Saints, Ruben Bain Jr. 9, Francis Maui Noah. I got it right this time, finally. Kaleb Downs to the Giants as well, as they get the tandem of Buckeyes. 11, Mansour Delane out of LSU to those Dolphins. 12, Dylan Thieneman, Cowboys. Jordan Tyson, three-headed monster with the Rams. Vega Awane to those Ratbirds. My Steelers trade him for Mekhi Lemon. Omar Cooper Jr. to the Jets. Spencer Fano to the Lions. McCoy to the Vikings. Sadiq to the Panthers. Falk to those Cowboys. He's just a Dallas Cowboy through and through. Not even trying to clown, but 21, Akeem Mesidor to the Buccaneers. Pregnon. You're going to get pregnant with this, how good the Pickett was, to the Chargers. Monroe Freeling to those dirty fucking Eagles. Browns, get your boy in Denzel Boston. 25, Christian Miller, sure, to the Bears. 26, Peter Woods out of Clemson. 27, my son Caleb Lomo goes to the 49ers. 28, Blake Miller, Clemson, Texans. 29, QB of the future, I'm telling you, Ty Simpson. 30, Casey Concepcion to the Dolphins. My boy Caden McDonald meeting up with Vrabes, and then Avion Terrell. This has been your mock draft from King Caleb, guys. Chaotic as always, fun as always, and I will. I'm gonna try my best to do some draft grades. If not, I'll see you next year. Maybe some college football in the fall. My quarterback shit. Remember I did that one year. You'll see me when you see me. This is your boy King Caleb here. Sign the fuck out.